We're back, boys!
Let's go.
After a week hiatus, we're back. On that note, if we're gonna start the podcast on a candid nature, I started the music and everything was muted again.
Wow.
So then I had to like stop the music and like restart it, but like luckily, you know, nothing really happened. So we are getting past the technology issues, which is super exciting. It's really awesome.
Are we? If we're still having issues?
Well, yeah, but it's like not an issue now.
All right, well.
So I'll take that as a win.
Okay.
Can you not host anymore on this new Twitch?
Yeah, did you just gotta type host and then R0SS09? That's me.
In your chat?
In your chat.
Yeah, you can host us, bro.
But I can't. Okay, well, I can't find it. Okay, well, whatever.
We got C-Rod, we got Guilherme, we got Ross. We're all here.
We're back and better than ever, even though we're a half hour late.
We're a half an hour late. That's my fault.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
A quick question for Chris.
Yeah.
Is Ryan's mic cutting in and out sometimes for you, like staticky?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Really?
So Ryan, your mic is doing that. But just every once in a while, it gets like staticky and almost like it's something not fully plugged in.
Really? Well, I don't know how to fix that, boys.
I don't know if it's...
I guess we haven't fixed all of our technical issues.
I don't know how to fix that, so
we'll just fight through it, man.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
I'll try and fix it as we go, but oh, wait a minute. Hold on, my whole thing went away because now I'm trying to fix it. Okay, so we're back.
Down.
Okay, we're not past the technology issues. That's me. That's
I already
me.
have the title for this one. I already have the title for this one. I'm gonna write it down. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Write it down on these notes.
On this note, yeah. So we're back. So we tried to do a podcast together last week, and it just didn't work out. We were
all moving furniture.
We were all moving furniture, and I was in Orlando, but it just didn't work out, and we had way too much hot sauce.
Way too much hot sauce.
You had too much.
It wouldn't have been a good, conducive environment to have a podcast.
Can you tell us what your next day was like after the hot sauce?
You know, if I'm being honest,
yeah,
I had the worst heartburn I've ever had in my life. And I don't know if it was because of the hot sauce, or because of the Trulies we were drinking at 9 in the morning.
I would imagine it wasn't the fruity Trulies. I'd imagine it was probably the 2 million Scoville hot sauce that you smothered on your bean burritos.
But I don't know
about that.
I got to Kayla's friend's house, and I literally was like, I have to have Tums, or I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. It was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life.
Did you have the chewable Tums or the tummy gummies?
Well, so I did the chewable, the tummy gummies.
I don't know
it's like little gummies.
I didn't have the gummies. I do like multivitamin gummies, but I don't do my antacids gummies because
are they shaped like Flintstones characters?
No, they're shaped like teddy bears.
Oh, nice.
I'm not even kidding. But it was literally the worst heartburn I've ever had in my life.
Wait a minute. Are you just eating gummy bears and telling people that you're eating vitamin gummy bears?
No, they're legit shaped as gummy bears. It's actually for like my hair loss.
Do they come in that gold bag, like that the candy ones come in?
No. It's different. It's in like a vial. It's not a vial. I don't know. What do you call it?
A pill bottle?
Yeah, I mean you gotta it's childproof, so you gotta push down and twist and. Children, you're welcome. I just taught you how to do it, but.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to exit this out.
So week hiatus, we're back. We're ready to go. I feel like we got a lot to talk about.
I feel like we do.
I have a new setup for I feel like the 18th time this podcast.
But this one's like final.
This is final. I'm not moving after this. This is like the final one. I feel like now that you say it, I feel like maybe you're right. Maybe it's a little dark.
Well, before when you were doing all your checks, you were close to your screens, so your face was brighter. But now that you relax and set back, now it's a little dark. See, there it's good.
Or I'm sorry, Ryan, if you didn't understand his accent, you're a little Dak.
Little Dak, yeah, he's from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I don't know about you. I guess let's just start the topic. So, was there ever? First of all, C-Rod, you know my dad. I know your dad. I have not had the pleasure. I have not had the pleasure of meeting Guilherme's dad, but he made us a really good buffalo chicken calzone one time.
I've met Guilherme's dad. He's pretty awesome.
So, my dad is a great man.
Yeah.
He cannot say certain words.
Okay.
And Massachusetts is one of those words. He says like 18 SHs. Massachusetts. He just like can't say Massachusetts. So I don't know if I just grew up with Pops not being able to say Massachusetts, or Fernglade, which is the road next to ours. He couldn't say Fernglade. We lived on Doug Road. Fernglade was like an offshoot. He couldn't say Fernglade. He said
how do you say it?
Fernglade. He like emphasized the glade. he put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. You know.
Well, how far is Fernglade from Fifth Avenue? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't get through it.
I hate that meme. I hate that that's a meme, and I hate that you guys like.
It's a good meme.
I hate it.
As somebody who had to learn English,
yeah,
it took me forever to master Massachusetts.
Well, we all had to learn English
hard
at one point, you know.
But I had to learn English after speaking a different language.
That's true. So what makes Massachusetts, Fernglade and Broadway? What makes Massachusetts so hard? Because the 7 S's and the CHETTES.
I think.
I don't think that's how you spell Massachusetts, but.
I don't know. I think it's 3 sounds that use the same area of your mouth, like back to back, but all 3 of them are different. Massachusetts.
Because it's all at the front.
It's right in the front.
Yeah.
Your tongue has to make like 18 different shapes.
Yeah. It's like Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
I still can't say that word.
I'd say Wabashire.
Not only do I not know how to say that word.
You love saying things right.
I don't even know what you use that sauce for.
I think it's like A1 sauce.
It's
I don't think it's A1 sauce. No,
I think so.
Not.
Well, A1 sauce is A1 sauce.
You can't. I don't think you can eat it by itself. I think it's an ingredient you put into other things.
I think people put Wabashire on there. I think people put the Wabashire on their steaks.
Please don't put the mic closer to your mouth. That was very loud.
Yeah, if you could just swallow the mic next time, that'd be great.
And sit in the middle of the goddamn frame.
I'm working on it, man. But sometimes I get intense. I go down here.
It's also like bitters. Like bitters are a like alcoholic thing.
But they enhance other flavors.
But you can't just drink bitters. Like you can't do a shot of bitters.
I gotta be honest. I don't even know what a bitter is. Like I can't picture it. I don't know.
Orange bitters.
I know what oranges are.
Good.
I think isn't that a Mitch Hedberg joke? He talks about I think they named the orange before they named the carrot.
Yeah, it is a Mitch Hedberg. Right?
There's also this really good sketch about how they did the abbreviations for. I think you might have shown me, C-Rod.
Yeah, I did. The states. I think I watched that a couple weeks ago, actually.
Alaska.
It's really funny.
AL. We're starting off good.
Yeah.
Alabama. Shit.
Yeah.
I did that reverse, obviously. I'm not very good at my alphabet, if we're being honest.
All right, man.
You never learned the state song when you were in elementary school?
If we're being honest,
no.
Never.
I never. What state song? What is it?
Go ahead.
Like where you list the states alphabetically?
What tune does it go?
It doesn't. It's its own song. It's not like Happy Birthday is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, whatever. It's just because musically all these states are different like syllables.
Yeah.
So you just kind of list states with a melody behind it.
All right. Well, I think it's time to unveil our new segment. Guilherme sings us the states. So go ahead, start it, man. How's it go?
Okay. Well, it's gonna be a segment.
Yeah.
The first one, the state that starts out Alabama. Tune in next week for
next week. Let's go, Alabama.
The Animaniacs had a song like that too. I don't know if that was the same song, but Animaniacs had a song.
Animaniacs did. Oh, they did state capitals, which is very obscure, and then they did countries of the world.
Interesting.
One of these podcasts, I really want to list presidents. I just want to go in order.
That's not a good segment. That's fun for us to do when we're like chilling.
I don't know if I could get past 5. Like,
you can.
I don't know who the 6th is.
Yeah, you can. Just think about it.
Well, let's go.
No, we're not.
I'm willing to play this game. George Washington. Do we want to go in turns? Let's go in turns. Washington.
All right.
I start Washington.
Wait.
Adams.
Wait. Stop.
Adams.
We have to go to. This will make sure that Ryan gets 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're good.
Jefferson's 3.
I don't know. Adams again?
No.
Van Buren?
No. That's 8.
Who's 4? I have no idea.
Isn't it Monroe?
I don't know. This is a bad game to play.
It's Monroe. Then it's Madison. Then it's John Quincy Adams.
Monroe was that early? I don't think Monroe was that early.
He's that early. He was on this planet at the same time as Hamilton was.
Well, you heard it here first. I couldn't get past 4, not 6. So
That's Monroe, Madison.
You couldn't get past 3.
AQA.
well, we got past 3 as a collective unit, I guess.
So we don't want to go to 7.
I
No,
couldn't
we
get
don't.
past 4.
This
What
bit's
makes you think I
done.
want to go past 7?
Next week we
bit's
start
done.
at 7, and we go to 13.
All right, that's fine.
Tune in next week for the 2nd state and the 7th president.
Yeah.
What's the capital of New York as non-New Yorkers?
Albany.
Albany.
Albany. Okay, that's fine.
Let's go.
I always thought that Miami was the capital of Florida. When
I bet you
lived in
did.
Florida.
That's how I know you're from New York.
Yeah.
That's how I freaking know you're from New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
it's
hate
so
you.
weird because I've been to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah, it sucks.
I've been to Albany.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah, I've never been to Albany.
Capitals tend to be lame. It's where all the governing goes down. It's not fun. But the exception makes the rule. Austin's really fun.
Austin's pretty good. I've been to Austin once.
Is Atlanta the capital of Georgia?
No. It's
Frankfurt?
Okay.
It's Connecticut. Isn't that Connecticut?
that's
But it's not the capital. I think it's just a city.
I'm pretty sure that's Germany.
Is it Macomb? Macomb, Georgia?
Macon? No, it's not.
Macon. Oh, well, what's the
I think
capital?
it's Savannah, Georgia.
No, Savannah's not the capital.
I think it's Savannah.
I think it's a city. It's like it's a city that we don't think about. It's like Annapolis.
No.
That's Maryland.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's like you don't think of Annapolis as you would think like Baltimore.
I do. No, I know it's Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay, then what's the fucking capital of Georgia?
I'm pretty sure it's Atlanta. I'm pretty sure.
It might be Atlanta, actually. What
I'm
about
not gonna
Maine?
fucking look it up.
Maine?
Yeah.
Bangor, isn't it?
I don't think
Yo.
so.
Bangor, Maine.
No, I don't think so.
Jordan Sawyer at Music says that, speaking from experience, Austin is awesome.
Austin is pretty cool.
I've never been.
I went for a family reunion one time.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
It was dope.
Why was your family in Austin, Texas?
Because I don't know if you know how family works, but like people move away and so like.
So wait a minute. The Rosses aren't like a New York family?
Well, okay, so I don't know if you know how marriage works, but like when two people get married, the female usually has a different last name. And
Yes.
so my mom's last name was not also Ross.
What was it?
It was Cobell.
Oh, it's like a Southern Belle.
So
Got it.
Okay, so the Cobells are from Long Island, but like the Cobells branched into Texas, and so they're
That
in
seems
Texas.
weird. I don't know many families that are in New York and Texas. By the way, Atlanta is the capital of Georgia. Thank you
Yeah,
very
I saw
much.
that.
Thank you, Uncorked Whiskey.
So-
It's
And glad to see
it's-
Uncorked Whiskey back.
Yeah, welcome back to the chat.
I looked up what the capital of Maine was, and I already forgot. Oh, it was Augusta.
Augusta,
Yeah,
yeah.
Augusta, Maine.
Yeah.
Montpelier,
Don't say
Vermont.
You fucking knew.
Montpelier, Vermont.
Montpelier, I knew that.
From that commercial.
Let's not.
We're not gonna do
let's
that. That's not gonna be the bit.
Okay.
So I did want to talk about it. This kept me up at night. I just want to kind of share with you like what kept me up at night.
Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of good actors in the world, but I feel like a lot of them get screencast, and that's why there's so many like actors. So here's what I mean by that. When I say the actor Elijah Wood, what do you think of? First thing, boom. What do you think of?
The Hobbit. The Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings.
Frodo Baggins.
Not the Hobbit.
And so
Lord of the Rings.
for his whole life, he's gonna be Frodo Baggins. And even he did that show about the dog.
Yeah, Wilfred.
But like he's Frodo Baggins for life. Daniel Radcliffe will always be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's only done, to be fair,
He's done a lot.
Daniel Craig, but like mostly indies though.
No, he's been in like some feature films. He's been on Broadway too. Naked.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, he was naked.
with his dick out. Second of all, or not second of all, Chris, you can't do two things. You read the chat. You can't start a different bit in the chat with different people.
He can start a bit
with fans.
He can start a bit. It literally kept me up at night. So the point of this topic that I want to talk about is like what famous actors are not typecast. Like what actors do you think of that can't be?
Okay, now that makes sense. You said screencast before, and I didn't know what you were talking
I'm sorry.
about.
Yeah, you,
typecast.
as soon as you say an actor, you will always think of that role. Who are some actors that you don't think of that role? Can I start? I would love to start.
Please.
Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Gary Oldman is good in anything he does. End of sentence.
Yeah.
And I feel like even like someone like Johnny Depp, who's very good, he's just Captain Jack Sparrow now.
Now,
That might be because he did like 8 of those movies.
He only 4, but
Okay. Read the chat,
feels like
but then answer like in the podcast. Don't answer down there. You can interact with them, but
Yeah,
you can interact with them with vocally.
so the thing is,
I
C-Rod,
don't want to interrupt Ryan.
you don't know how this
wait for him
works.
to be-
You don't know
wait
how
for
this
him to
works.
be done.
So C-Rod, so when you type in the chat, when we upload it to YouTube, they're not going to see the.
can't see
they're
it.
not going to see it.
Oh.
So it's bad TV.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make us
Mr. Live.
professional.
This
But
is
I'm not going to address what
Mr.
I'm not
Live.
going to address what you said. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to make this better and elevate us. But the people on YouTube won't know because they can't see the chat. So just say it out loud. Also, Elijah Wood, Back to the Future 2. He was a little shithead kid.
He was the little shithead kid, yeah.
They yelled at Marty for playing video games with his hands.
100%, yep. And he was also in like a Macaulay Culkin film or something like that. No.
I think, yeah.
He was in some.
No.
He was like in The Good Child or something like that.
Him and I forget. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. What's the? So what was the bit? The movies?
So I want to know like
aren't
what
that bad.
actors are like phenomenal actors that are not forever enshrined as a role. That-
Daniel Day-Lewis.
See, I think
I think he's Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
He's been in so many other things that.
But like,
Before Lincoln.
but like when you think of Abe Lincoln, you think of one role. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start that
Well,
sentence
yeah.
over. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start that
please,
sentence
please.
over.
Both
If
I
you think
think
of Daniel Day-Lewis, you're thinking Abe Lincoln.
No.
Like when I say like
Most recently, but what the There Will Be Blood or whatever that the oil movie. Like I'll drink your milkshake. That's what I always thought.
if you can't think of the name, it doesn't count, right?
No, because the point wasn't to think of the movie; it was to think of the character, and that.
Okay,
to
that's
me,
okay. That's fair.
It's like
that's
multiple Lincoln and that whatever.
I feel like Eddie Redmayne. He's a pretty good actor, but he's always going to be like Stephen Hawking,
That.
the guy who played Stephen Hawking in the Stephen Hawking
Oh.
film.
I think
Well-
he was Marius in Les Mis. He was Newt in Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, even Hugh Jackman, like Hugh Jackman, phenomenal
Jackman,
actor.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
But he's like Jason Alexander's always going to be
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, like, and he was like on Broadway. Stephen Sondheim wrote him film, like stuff.
You're confusing. Typecast is different. You're relating characters to their actors to their biggest roles. Like when you think the more proper thing is when you think Wolverine, you think Hugh Jackman. Not when you think Hugh Jackman, you think Wolverine. Typecasting would be like Hugh Jackman is always the muscle-bound dude, whatever, and he's not. He's like singing and dancing and whatever.
Okay, so
Typecasting is different.
So
Typecasting is
I wanna
Jason
know-
Alexander's always the loser friend.
I want to know. Okay, that's true. You're right. I want to know actors that are very well known that are not associated with one role.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison,
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
But it's not just
Indiana
one.
Jones
Correct.
and Han Solo.
But I feel like
But he is typecast. He's always
He's always this scoundrel rebel guy. Yes.
scoundrel character.
But so like
he's the president in Air Force One.
Right, exceptions to the rule. But in the the movie that just had a sequel, Do Electric.
With him and the dog.
Blade Runner. No, Blade Runner. In the first Blade Runner, he's like kind of like a rebel bounty hunter kind of guy.
So I didn't mean typecast. I don't want to mean typecast. I want to know actors that are not associated with one role.
That are not associated with one role.
Uncorked said Keanu Reeves, but I feel like I feel like he's the Matrix.
Bill and Ted.
Okay.
That's two.
All right.
And John Wick.
Yeah.
And John Wick. Okay.
Oh,
See, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a good
Brian,
one.
I think just in your head you're tying when these actors play strong characters, like Neo is a big character, and maybe if that was the first time you saw Keanu Reeves ever, you're like, it's Neo, like he is Neo. Neo is Keanu Reeves, whatever. That's one thing, but like for years of acting, like Denzel is just like, when I see him, I don't think of him as a character. I'm just like, oh, it's Denzel's in this movie. I don't even see him be a character. I'm like, he's just being Denzel. And
Okay.
like Samuel L. and like has a billion different movies.
Yeah.
I think I'm just stuck on like, so like for me, like when I think of the cast of Friends, they're like known as for being in Friends. Like like
Right.
it's always gonna be like, oh, that's Rachel.
Besides Jen Aniston, how many of them went to do like big? Besides right after Friends.
Matthew Perry, I mean, he got pretty famous in the 90s, but he did cocaine and then he fell off.
That's what I'm saying. They think after Friends, their drop off was huge. Besides Jen Aniston
and Courtney Cox, I think Courtney Cox did shit after too. She was in that TV show. She was like a cougar. I think it was called Cougars.
Cougar
Town.
Yeah.
Uncorked whiskey.
But that was way later after Friends.
So Daniel Radcliffe will only be like, Daniel Radcliffe is always going to be Harry Potter. He's like, there's no way getting out of that. No matter how many movies he's in.
Such an iconic role.
Exactly. Yeah. So another
Mark
one.
Hamill's always going to be Luke. It's when you do a movie for that, when you do a series for that long, like Pirates and Star Wars and Harry Potter, you're going to be tied to those roles forever just because you've been doing them for so many years.
But I also I feel like Heath Ledger, he only did one of those movies. He's always going to be the Joker.
Yeah, but he went out, but the circumstances were extraordinary.
Like I don't think as like Jack Nicholson. I don't think of him as the Joker, even though he played the Joker. Like Heath Ledger's the Joker. Joker's Heath Ledger.
That's funny. I think of when I picture a Joker, it's Jack Nicholson's Joker from that first movie. Or Mark Hamill's Joker, the animated one. And Heath Ledger is usually like my third.
Really? That's fascinating.
Yeah. It's just a lot of these. You're looking for actors who haven't had an iconic character that's like, oh, they're this character, and for that to happen, they have to have played that character multiple times.
Well,
that's why I think Denzel and Samuel L. like they rarely, that I can think of, like do sequels or at least more than two.
I think what I'm looking for is an actor that's had so many iconic roles that he can't be put into one iconic role. That's what I'm looking for.
Explain that again.
I'm looking for an actor that's had so many iconic roles that he can't just be like one. Robin Williams. Leonardo DiCaprio is a good one. Robin Williams is a good one.
Uncorked Whiskey, Game of Thrones cast is screwed because nobody's ever going to see Kit Harington or look at Kit Harington and not see Jon Snow.
Kit Harington's always going to be Jon Snow. What's her face is always going to be Daenerys.
She's the one that's probably trying to do the most though. Post, she's the one that's trying to get out there, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, she has the most marketability.
But like Jason Momoa is an actor that I don't see the character. He's just like, because I mean, let's be honest, he's not a great actor, but he's just having fun on screen. So every time I see a movie or something with him, I'm like, oh, that's just him. I don't think of like his roles.
So what
about someone like RDJ? Like RDJ is always Iron Man. So is he typecast now forever, or like?
I think he's retired forever because he has boohoo Marvel money, and then the Doolittle movie that came out or was supposed to come out didn't look good or didn't receive
Looks
good
like
reviews.
trash.
Like,
Looks like trash.
Well, I mean, like he was also Sherlock Holmes,
yeah,
and he did a pretty good job at Sherlock Holmes. But you're right, it's not like
He
iconic.
did stuff way before. That's what I'm saying. If a person, okay, so the better thing to think about is, can we think of a person who did a long series like that, like like an Iron Man or Harry Potter or whatever, and then came out of it and still was able to have like a career post?
I think Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman is probably.
But what series was he in that he was like, oh, this character is forever tied to him?
Harry Potter.
But he was only in two movies.
But not really. Yeah, it's 2 movies he was in.
And like in a few
And Batman.
Okay, he was
got it.
Part. Okay.
Will Smith, because Will Smith came out of Men in Black. Because when Will Smith first came off the scene, because he was a rapper / the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then he started doing movies, and he was like the alien space guy. He was like Men in Black, Independence Day, Wild Wild West, which was basically aliens in the past, and he was really able to break out of that.
Oh, you know what?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah,
I think speaking of Will Smith, Independence Day, Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Jeff Goldblum has had a lot of iconic roles, and you just think it's like, oh, he's just had a ton. There isn't one that really ties him down. I guess you would do Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park as like the big one, but Independence Day, he was like the second character to Will Smith, The Fly, and not Guardians, in Thor, he was the Grandmaster. He's had a lot of like big stuff. Go ahead.
Confession, I still don't know what you just said the character's name. I still don't know Jeff Goldblum's character name in Jurassic Park, and
Ian
you just
Malcolm,
said it.
Dr. Ian Malcolm.
I just learned that today and I already forgot it.
I would never know that, but I know he's in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, I know him for sure. He got eaten when he was on the toilet.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is a good one.
No, stop. We're not going to go past that. He did not get eaten on the toilet. He survived. He was actually a big.
No, that's Newman.
Newman did not get eaten on the toilet. He stole the DNA and drove and got eaten in the Jeep. The guy who got eaten on the toilet was the lawyer.
Oh, can we talk about how Jurassic Park worst trilogy of all time? Like horrendous.
Yeah, it's not a good trilogy.
It's not a good trilogy.
It's phenomenal.
The first one's really good. 2 is like decent, and then 3 they just gave up.
2 is not even decent.
Great.
2 is not even decent.
Okay, but like 2 compared to 3 is like a decent movie.
Jeff Goldblum is the best part of 2.
Yeah, when you compare it to like a shitty shit, then of course it looks fine.
Of course.
No,
so bad.
I'm gonna compare it to a normal movie, and it's a terrible movie.
Wait! Stop! 3 is the one where they go, Grant and they go to rescue the kid on the island, right? And there's the Spinosaurus.
It's the island.
2 is when they lose the T-Rex in the city. That's pretty good.
2, that's what I'm saying. 2 is like not a bad movie.
2 is pretty good.
No.
You thought the Mighty Ducks were a top 5 trilogy of all time.
Mighty Ducks 2 blows Jurassic Park 2 out of the fucking water. Out of the water! Mighty Ducks 2 blows Jurassic Park 2. Put that on the poll. I'm putting it on the poll right now.
Don't put it on the fucking poll. Only you have 5 people.
You can't make your own poll. Somebody else has to say.
You have 5 people vote. Fucking out of here,
28 people vote. I had 28 people vote.
Jason Segel.
Apparently you have 14.
It was overwhelming.
Apparently you have 14 alternate accounts, so you can vote multiple.
I have one account, and I can't vote from my account, so I'm the perfect person to do this.
No. Okay.
Mighty Ducks 2 has my vote.
Hold on.
I need somebody to ban Uncorked Whiskey, please.
I can't. She's a mod.
No.
She's a mod. I can't.
Ooh, yikes.
Well, hold on. You guys have missed a lot of the podcast. We did a top 5 trilogy, and he put Austin Powers. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. On that note, cast. On that note, I don't even know anymore. But he put Austin Powers as the #1 trilogy of all time, and Mighty Ducks.
Insane.
Mighty Ducks was the #2 trilogy of all time.
In the top 5, not number. I didn't put Austin Powers #1. I put it in the top 5.
Anyway, so I guess what I was looking for.
What did I make #1? What did I make #1?
Austin Powers.
I guess you did it out of order.
I made Back to the Future #1. Thank you very much.
Whatever. I think
you might have done it out of order so you could drop the mic and this is gonna be controversial. Austin Powers. So we're relating that, but whatever.
I might have. I just tweeted out the poll, by the way. Feel free to vote and then retweet it.
Great. Speaking of tweeting, can someone else take over the Twitter?
Yeah, give me the info.
Wait. I was just trying to say, what did I do to make people not like me? Is it Austin Powers? Austin Powers is a phenomenal trilogy. It really is.
Yeah, but like we're not talking about this again.
Oh my
we're not
God,
talking about this again.
We're not rehashing this.
But it's not a top 5 trilogy.
All over again.
We all acknowledge it's a great set of movies. It's not a fucking top 5 trilogy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. I got really heated right now. It's not. I'm not doing it again.
They're 3 fun movies to watch. They're not like a masterpiece trilogy.
Okay, and that's fine, and I'll accept that. I'm putting them in my top 5.
Okay.
Last time I checked, it's my top 5. That's why I checked.
You know what?
But
hold on. I got an idea.
No, stop. No, stop. I'm raising my hand. Stop. The point of the thing was to make the top 5, and you fought for so long to have those on.
Mighty Ducks 100% needs to be in the top 5. If you don't want Austin Powers in, that's fine.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You can make Mighty Ducks 5. Mighty Ducks is the top 5.
It's not. 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 While we're rehashing old shit. While we're rehashing old shit. Uncorked Whiskey and Jordan Sawyer music. Is stew a soup?
Stew's a soup.
Is stew a soup or what? I'll wait for the answer. I guess the question that I wanted is not possible, and I get it, but I was just like up late at night thinking like,
I can't believe this kept you up.
Elijah Wood is always Frodo Baggins.
Stew is a soup.
See, but now Jordan we can ban.
I'm waiting for Uncorked Whiskey's answer. She's the only one that counts.
I know what it's going to be, and it's going to be yes.
Doesn't matter. No one likes you anyway.
It doesn't matter. You can get all the fucking votes you want. My dad is.
You guys sound like Republicans. Like you don't want to look at the data. Like I'm proving you data. I'm putting the polls, the numbers, and you guys are like not looking at the numbers.
You refuse to read the. Oh my God! Whatever. Can we fucking move on?
Well, actually, you know what? Let's move on.
How's your 2 weeks been since in our hiatus?
It's been fine, man.
How's band?
Band was good.
Can you talk about virtual band camp? I might have some questions, but
yeah, man. Let's talk about virtual band camp. So I had a virtual band camp.
Tear this podcast to the ground.
I had a virtual band camp, and I had to hire extra clinicians, obviously. So how the band camp operated was each morning I made like 8 Google Classrooms. So SOJ. Pillsbury says any ingredients cooked in liquid is soup.
Yes! Thank you! But let's go! We're number 35. That's me. Let's go!
All right, so I'm going to unmod Whiskey. Thanks for stopping by. But I'm just kidding. Thank you for your honest answer. I appreciate you. That's why you're a mod. So I had Google Classrooms for every section.
So is pasta a soup?
No.
It's cooked in liquid.
Okay.
I'm not fucking doing this again.
You guys are right. Make pasta soup if you fucking want to.
Well, I'm not fucking doing this again. But if we're gonna play this game, Pillsbury says that any ingredients cooked in liquid is soup. Pasta is cooked in liquid.
Okay, then you're right.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing this again.
So is rice, by the way.
Okay, so rice is a soup.
His rice is soup.
Great. There you go. You're welcome. That's good. Good.
I hate this. We're not doing this for a 3rd fucking week.
I can't do it, dude. Stop. You know what? Technically, it's a 4th week because we skipped last week and it's still fucking stewing.
Because you guys have been wrong for 4 weeks.
We're talking about it in person.
Oh my God. You guys have been wrong for 4 weeks and you're still bringing it up.
How about tea?
Like, you're wrong.
How about tea?
Tea soup. Whatever you want to do, stew's a soup. That's fine. Make whatever you want a soup. Also make stew a soup. How's that sound?
Fine.
Listen.
How do you like
hate
that?
This conversation. Ryan, you're the one who fucking brought it up. So
I know. I really thought Whiskey was gonna have my back, and I'm a little bummed she didn't, but it's okay. So I have.
Oh my God.
We're not doing this again.
I'm gonna stop looking at chat. I'm gonna stop looking at chat because we've had you guys got to watch the other podcast from like.
It doesn't matter. We're not talking about this. I'm gonna talk about Bandcamp. And
I'm not going for my points again.
Oh, whoa. Well, that's I don't know. I saw.
No, you're right.
Can the Tatman do that? Anyway, so Bandcamp. So I have like 8 Google Classrooms, 1 for each section, and I set up a Google Meet link. So they signed in at 10. The clinicians came on. They worked on them one-on-one, and then that's it. And then they had a 30-minute break, and then went to visual. And there's a brass room and a woodwind room, and the guard was guarding. It was mostly a dance class, and percussion was hitting stuff on pads, and that's how it went.
Right. So on your side, Are you just jumping into rooms?
So it was a nightmare. So I had all 8 rooms up, and there's no way to like mute one room. So I couldn't like.
You just have a ton of noise.
I had 8 rooms going on at once. So I literally just sat there without my headphones on, and if anyone needed me, they just texted me if they had an issue, because I couldn't sit there and listen because it was impossible. They played, so the way they played was the clinicians like had them mute their mics. They would count them off. Okay, play. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. They played muted while they listened to the clinician play, and then they would ask, like, they would go down the line. Okay, Jimmy, you're up. Okay, Jimmy, here's what you need to fix. You need to fix this, this, and this. Okay, I'll hear it on the next time. All right, Timmy, you're up. Bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom, boom. And they just went, down the line. And I think the music worked surprisingly well. I was, like I said, it was just surprising. Like, everyone showed up. There's a few that, like, got lost, but whatever. I had about 70 to 75 kids participate, and it was just leadership and new members. And then my next camp is mandatory everyone, so we're expecting about 115, 120.
I think it's a pretty elegant solution to everything that's going on.
We're trying. I mean, I know other programs have canceled, and I'm not trying to like say that's the right answer or my way is the right answer, but I know the culture that my school has is more competitive and driven, and if they're gonna do it, let's just do it. So
now let me ask you a hypothetical.
Yeah.
What happens if canceled for some reason or another, whether it's FMBC canceling something or school banning travel or whatever, but then how do you think your kids will respond to that?
Well, so in order to not miss a marching year, if they cancel, they cancel. I'm not going to fight against it. It is what it is. I'm not going to do it. But if they cancel, then we're going to go to Dayton, Ohio and compete. WGI wins.
Right.
So at least my biggest fear is the freshmen are going to come in not having any experience.
Yeah.
Because if this season gets canceled, then we could be dead in the water. If we cancel this season, there's no way that next year we get rolling again and we're the same Jupiter.
Yeah, it would take like a 2 years.
It would take another 5 years just to get the culture back, because now I lost these freshmen technically because that's a year, and then I'm getting new freshmen, and it was my old. It's like my seniors left, my juniors now lost a year, so they're a year inexperienced.
Yeah, but instead of looking at it like that, if that does happen, it's also your chance to get rid of anything that you don't like. It's your chance to start fresh with your, if there's anything you want to change, is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, luckily I think I'm at the point where it's my program.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of had to adapt a little bit to them because they are competitive. I'm competitive too, but I hate getting to work at 6:45 in the morning and coming home at 10. But it is what it is. At this point, the philosophies and the foundation are mine. So that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
So I mean, it worked. Visual is kind of weird because it's really hard to teach visual online.
Yeah.
But at this point, if we can consistently stay in music and we could stay on par with music, and luckily my feeders are two of the best in the county. If we can stay on music, the visual will come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. I'm ready to go to Dayton, Ohio if this season gets canceled. If it doesn't get canceled, we're going to Carnegie Hall. So I mean, stuff's gonna happen regardless. It's just
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Brevard is allowing groups of 10 or less to be on campus in 2 weeks. But the kids have to sign a waiver. So that gives me a couple of things. One, if a kid has to sign a waiver, that tells me that the school is not 100% fully sure that it's okay to open. Or else they'd be like, hey, just come on, and we're fine, and we'll assess some liability with you. Also, I don't know the worth of breaking my back having 10 kids in at a time, making sure they're socially distanced, wiping everything down, kicking them out, 10 new kids come in, and going through all of that. I just don't know if it's worth it for me personally as a human. I don't know what my kids will necessarily get out of that. So I don't know. There's like a meeting at my school next week with all the coaches because the language that Brevard put out was specifically for coaches and conditioning, and it's purposefully left out band because they want to plan something else out for band. But I might go to that meeting next week and just kind of listen to see what they're telling the coaches, because it just seems like I don't know. Brevard is a very conservative area, and Brevard has not been hit very hard with COVID up to now. But at the same time, again, if they're making kids sign a waiver, I don't know. Myself as a responsible adult, I think I need to be more cautious than that. And as opposed to like, hey, sign the waiver, come on in and we'll chill if you're ready to sign this waiver. Yeah, so it's something I'm struggling with. But I just got to think through that this weekend and next week.
So are
the
you?
Only thing,
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
the only thing that would work for would be like an officer camp.
Right.
There would be no point in bringing 10 woodwinds and then 10 brass, whatever, like at a time. You can't get anything done. But,
See, I disagree.
But you could work an officer camp.
I disagree. I feel like you could bring 10 clarinets in and learn drill.
And you're right. I feel like I could get something done, but for myself personally, is it worth it for me to put in 10 hours? Like,
No, of course, yeah.
Camp day to get an hour of receiving information. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
And then I also think, and this is just the one thing that I can't figure out. And I read a lot, and I'm looking at a lot of things and talking to a lot of people. I can't figure out how to do the buses. I can't figure out how buses are going to work, because if I have to remain socially distanced, how am I going to take my kids on a competition on a bus? Also, I don't know how like out of county stuff is going to work. So when you're in Palm Beach, you can go to Boca, you can go to John I, you can go to Vista, you can go to Santa Lucia's, you can go to Jupiter High School. There's a competition every weekend in Palm Beach that you could go to and be fine. In Brevard, there's like one. So if I wanted to go to compete, now I'm going out of county. There are no rules yet for travel in general, let alone am I going to have to order now double the buses I normally order to keep the kids far apart. Also, if I'm using a school bus, I can easily like turn on a hose and spray Clorox in the school bus and open the windows and dry it all off. But if I'm in a charter bus, which most of us use in marching season anyways, it's carpet. So how can you really ensure that it's like sanitary? You know what I mean? And I don't know the answers. And if I felt confident in my academic leadership to provide those answers, then I would be on board with it. But it feels like they're putting a lot of the emphasis on the coaches to, hey, these are the rules, just figure it out. You got to make it happen. And I just don't know what is the best path to take. So that's just something I just got to keep thinking about and just keep talking to people and figuring out what other people are doing.
Well, the way it's going, the way people are treating it, it's going to get worse, and we're going to get nothing done, and we're not going to have seasons and school and music because people are just going out and numbers are getting worse.
I think
and they're loosening restrictions.
I think we're still gonna have school and music, at least in Palm Beach. I can't speak for Brevard. I can't speak for Texas, but
have you been checking the numbers specifically in Florida?
No, because I don't read the news or whatever. But
it's not good.
Well, I know, but those are also the people that are not being smart about it. They're not going out. They're not wearing the mask. They're not,
right. But those are the ones that spread it. And
right. No, of course.
You can't control those people.
No, I 100%. But I think also they're also spreading it to the other dumb people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's say your drum major goes to Publix, and one of those dumb people is at Publix, and then she gets it and doesn't know for a couple of days,
well,
and then goes in your building, and then it spreads.
If we're being candid, I think at least my kids are not going to be put in that position, because either their parents are going to say you're not going out, or you're going to wear a mask.
And let me tell you, that's another thing,
right.
Because
but what if their parents go? Because their parents have shit to do.
Well, right. Ryan, you live and you teach in a very liberal area, I teach in a conservative area, and not that necessarily matters. And I can't speak for all my parents or all the parents in on my school or on my campus, But I do know what I see on TV and on the internet is that some people are like refusing to wear the mask. And if you're refusing to wear the mask, and that's fine, and it's a free country, you got to do what you have to do. But how do I, as a director or a coach, regulate that when I have some of my kids showing up on school being like, "Oh, my parents think masks are for fucking pussies and snowflakes, and we're not doing any of that." But I'm required to require you to have the mask if I am. Or then I have other kids that are on the complete opposite side and like, well, my mom won't let me out of this plastic bubble, and if he's here without a mask and I'm in my bubble, then I can't. So that's another thing that we all might have to navigate a little bit. I fear that I'll have to navigate that more than maybe you, Ryan. But it's just another layer to the problem that I wish and I hope that the leadership in my area is thinking about and not just leaving it up to me to figure out.
I don't want to get political. I think we should. This is important to talk about, but I would also like to move on to something, I don't know, more fun. But it's nuts to me that science and race and all this stuff is considered political when it's not. You can't argue against numbers. That's not like your political view can't be, well, I don't believe in numbers. That's not an option. Numbers aren't wrong. You can believe in things that have two sides that have gray areas. Numbers don't have gray areas, and like shit like that. It's nuts. But
yeah.
Whatever.
I think, I mean, again, all this stuff kind of happened politically, obviously, with the Black Lives Matter movement and, all this stuff. And it is insane to me that, and you hit it like right on the head. It's just like, people are just like refusing to like acknowledge stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, it's just insane to me. I don't know. And like, I don't know. C-Rod, you're not a Republican, right?
I was a registered Republican for a very long time.
I have nothing against Republicans. What I do have a problem with is like people that just refuse to see what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my one issue.
That's both sides. I don't care.
Well,
what you
correct.
Can believe. You can believe in things I don't believe in. That's fine. But as long as you listen and we can have a debate and like makes rational arguments, an argument can't be throwing it back to soup and stew. Your argument can't be, well, no, I don't believe that.
Well, I think what
unless you have the numbers on your side, and which numbers never lie. Speaking of numbers, I have an update on the poll. So far, 100% of people say Mighty Ducks 2 is better than Jurassic Park 2. 100%.
Well, I've never heard of Jurassic Sparks, so.
That's a sister of Jordan Sparks.
Ah, got it.
Okay, that was a stretch.
She's a big time stretch, big time rush. Yeah. Anyway,
that was better, Ryan.
Thanks, appreciate it. Anyway, I know we got people in here from Texas, so I hope you guys are at least safe and taking care of yourselves. And it's crazy times we live in, and we won't really harp on it too much. Just it's all insane. And on that note, I'm gonna go to the chat and change the subject. On that note, have you guys watched Letterkenny? I love Letterkenny, and I told you guys to watch it, and I know you have not.
Oh, bullshit. I fucking watched like 3 episodes.
That's not watching
really
it.
Good. No, stop. I thought they were all really, really, really good. They talk so fast, man. They're just always talking fast.
That's like the thing. That's so funny.
No, but they're like, this guy is like, I'm talking about something. I mean, everybody coming to them, drinking a beer, and I'm like, whoa, what was he saying? He just talks so fast.
You gotta watch it.
Here's a little insight. Chris doesn't watch TV, like to know the content. He puts TV on to have noise on while he does something else.
Yes.
By the way, John Krasinski, I think, is another one of those actors. He's just Jim Halpert.
That's true.
Anyway, sorry, coming full circle. But
that's like his first big thing.
Letterkenny is 100% the best thing I've seen. That's kind of a stretch.
How much of it is there?
Well, I think
where can I watch it?
On Hulu, you can watch it.
Okay.
When I was done, there was 5 seasons. They did another one.
Ooh, That's long. That's a lot.
It was hilarious.
How many sods a season?
I think like not that many. 10, 15, 20, somewhere in that round. I mean,
okay,
and they're,
that's a lot.
but they're all 20. They're all 20 minutes.
10, 100, 30.
They're all 20 minutes. So I mean, the season is done in a few hours.
Do you understand how TV works, Ryan? That like episodes are typically like 22 minutes, and there's like a certain number per season.
But was this an aired TV show, or is it like an internet, like a Hulu thing?
First of all, C-Rod, you can go fuck yourself.
Because I'm going to defend you, Ryan. Because if it's like
it's a Canadian TV show.
Hulu show. Oh, it's a TV show.
It's a TV show.
I love Canadian TV right now. By the way,
oh my god,
6 episodes. That's
Whatever it takes.
There's only 6 episodes.
Garbage.
Degrassi is not garbage. Degrassi is gold. So right now, I just watched season 6, episode 1 and 2. Let me tell you what it's all about. These guys are freaking crazy, man. So Sean came back. Sean left like season 3. He came back, and right now Emma is like really, really happy with Peter. But Peter's a dick because don't forget he made that nude video of Mandy last season or 2 seasons ago. But Mandy's kind of over it because she sees how happy it makes Emma. So Emma sees Sean, and let me tell you, Sean's biceps are on fire. And he's got longer hair. And Emma and Sean hooked up. So Peter got pissed about it. So what Peter did is Peter and Sean did a drag race to see who got to keep Emma, kind of. And Sean actually hit a guy running. And so that's where I'm at.
This bit is no fun.
Yes.
You can't just say things like we.
Is he done?
Like you know, like we know. Yeah, he's done.
He's done. Okay.
So speaking of TV, so for Ryan and Jordan, I will give this a shot. The show, I'll watch it.
It was hilarious. It's hilarious.
I've just been watching a lot of content. I wrapped up The Last Airbender and all of Korra, the follow-up series in like 3 days. Very good, phenomenal writing. Very good TV show. I started another. I've been going through the Lord of the Rings, the extended editions. So it's a lot of hours.
Frodo Baggins.
A lot of media. And then new video games are going to hit soon, so I'm going to have less time to watch things.
Holy shit, how did we not talk about that?
What?
How have we not talked about this PS5 release?
Because the only people that care are me and you. And Chris is talking about stuff that he likes.
He cares. C-Rod, come back.
He doesn't care.
Come back. He cares. Of course he cares. C-Rod, how long have I known you, C-Rod? 10 years? 12 years?
Since 2008.
So 12 years I've known him. For 10 of those years, he always told me I'm a PlayStation household.
Yeah.
But to play Madden.
The only reason that he got an Xbox was because I fucked bought it for him.
Yeah, because I beat you in Madden.
And that's it.
Because we beat you in
Madden. We beat you in Madden.
So the PS5, C-Rod, was announced.
Yeah. I heard.
And it blew everyone out of the water. I'm sorry, it blew Xbox out of the water.
No, go ahead. No, please, Chris.
Go ahead, please.
I live with Guilherme now for 3 years, and every
can you stay
time
in the middle of the frame, please.
And every time, there's like there's an E3, then there's an E6, and then there's a PS5 and an Xbox.
See, I hate
One.
this.
And there's a different thing every couple of things, and every time there's like a thing. It's oh my god, it's like end of the world. They're making an Avengers video game. This is going to be sick. There's an Ant-Man DLC. And then I haven't seen a video game yet. I don't know where that game is. But now all of a sudden, we're already on Spider-Man 2. But where's that Marvel video game that we announced like 2 summers ago? And now it's like the Xbox, but it's so freaking much. And it's always the best until it comes out. And then it's like, it's not that great.
Okay, so consoles it's been like 7 years since the old consoles. So that's not true what you said. And
2013 or 12 was Xbox
when
One.
It came out.
Yeah,
it's 13. So it's going to be 7 years, and this year is the one. I mean, everybody's known they were coming out. They teased it last year at E3, but in this year now makes 1 year since E3. Rest in peace. Shout out to Miss Rona. We were supposed to be in E3 right now, so it would have been. They teased it last year, a year of development, and then we're going to drop stuff this year at E3, but they can't. So we've gotten no news on consoles, and then that's just you just haven't lived in this world. That's just how video game announcements get. like that's how video game announcements work.
And to be honest,
Spider-Man has nothing to do with the Avengers game.
I know, but it's just like, you know.
But it's also like a good glimpse to seeing like what's to come.
Yeah, like stuff in development.
And like just to get that like feeling of like, holy shit, they're making like an Avengers game that's gonna be twice as good as Spider-Man. Because let's be real, it probably will be. But Spider-Man was dope.
Spider-Man was very good. It's a different style of game from different developers, but
I thought it was the same people.
Nope.
Well, I'll just go fuck myself then. But
Avengers is Square, and Spider-Man was Insomniac.
There's how many votes we have on the poll for Mighty Ducks 2.
Great. Great. I'm not talking about that anymore. What's it called? I lost what I was gonna say.
Anyway,
Avengers was supposed to be out already, but because of Corona and all that stuff, and they had to push it back a little bit for development stuff, it got pushed to September. But usually, how video games, like we talked about this when we were talking about Spider-Man, it was a huge deal that they announced it and then said holiday 2020. Like these things usually get announced 2 years ahead of time.
Right.
People are like, people know, like we're working on this. Also, this is gonna trigger Ryan. Remember Skull and Crossbones from 3 years ago?
Oh man!
I've never seen like.
I know.
Sometimes shit just dies. Like studios go under or they lose funding.
Well, then why make the announcement? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to get all hyped about the announcement?
Because they're working on it, and then like you're not really into. I think Patriot Act might have done a bit on like the gaming industry or something, but you're not like in this. Like it's awful, like work conditions with like crunches and stuff, and then sometimes studios go under or they test badly or people move on because video games take forever to develop.
To be honest, people are always buying consoles. So every year, people are always going to debate like, you know what, this is going to be the year that I buy a console. Which one am I going to do? And then they put out these announcements of like, you know what, this game looks sick. This game looks sick. I'm going to go with Xbox this year. Or like, you know, I played everything on my PS4. You know, what am I going to do? Is there anything good coming out on Xbox? Maybe I'll pick up an Xbox. So they have all these announcements, and Skull and Crossbones being one of those things where, like, they released this thing, and it looked like the best game I've ever seen in my life. And then that was 3 years ago, and nothing's ever happened with it. But, I still think about that game. The only thing I want in my whole life... Guilherme,
it was going to be announced this year.
It was going to be announced this year, C-Rod.
And then the Rona came out of nowhere.
And then it ruined it. All I want is an open world Harry Potter game where you create your own character. And it's kind of like Bully. Like, I don't know if you ever played that game. Anyone in this Bully? So, like, you go to school, you learn your lessons, you learn new skills, blah, 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 blah. That's all I want. You go to Hogsmeade. You fuck around with George and Fred, one of them. Spoiler alert.
Which one though? Which one? Which one? HPTP. Which one?
Oh no.
George died. It's Fred.
I don't even know if you're right or wrong.
I think I'm right.
I'll make a poll.
I'm the champ. I'm the reigning champ.
I'll make a poll. Hold
on. So they were going to announce it at E3 this year. They were going to put out like shit for it, and then Rona happened. And now they leaked information, but like no one can confirm if it's actually real.
Yeah.
And it's literally
those leaks are real.
The most upsetting
it's like somebody
thing.
Listen to you.
I've been talking about this game in like our video game group chat for like probably 7 years.
For years.
And they always say like, seriously, Ryan, shut up about it. Like, stop talking about it.
I'm always with you.
And this is all I want in my life is an open world Harry Potter game where I can create my own character. And they finally did it. And it was going to be announced. And then. Oh,
God,
I'm so mad.
Because last year you were up here and we watched E3 together. It was so much fun. It's 3 days of snacks and watching videos.
So many Takis and pretzels. And,
oh my God, so good.
And like, to be honest, like I don't understand why they couldn't do an it's already an electronic expo. Why not just do an electronic expo electronically?
Because probably, besides that, it's probably fucked a lot of schedules. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Wise, like,
you're
why
right.
we're gonna announce this? We don't know when we're gonna get back to work. I mean, like, Last of Us got pushed, and Avengers and Cyberpunk, all that stuff got pushed.
But now, I mean, then we're gonna talk about Rona and opening up the country again. But like,
and to be honest, E3 was like PlayStation had pulled out of E3 for 2 years. Remember last year, like we got nothing, and we're pissed. Xbox is the only thing left. Like I think Ubisoft announced they weren't going, and those are just companies pulling out and doing their own events.
I feel like this was going to be the big year because the consoles were releasing. Everyone wanted to know the new tech.
They were still going to do their own thing. The big thing we would have gotten would have been Xbox on that Friday, the Xbox press compressor, and then, I mean, Square we watched because Kingdom Hearts had just come out, and there was rumors of that Avengers game. That's why we watched Square. But like me and you, when we were watching it, Square's event was like, and the Final Fantasy remake. Square's event was like an hour, and we were like, at that point, it's pretty late into the night. We were just, it's like, are they going to say something? It was just boring. Like,
you're right.
To watch. Like that stuff is boring.
But still, even though it was boring, it just got me hyped. You know, just like thinking about it.
Oh yeah, I love seeing that. But speaking of Skull and Crossbones, to bring it back, Chris, Skull and Crossbones was announced 4 years ago, 5 years ago, a while ago. Like we were talking about it, we were still living down south, and like we would talk about it at Swain and whatever. It's from the people who made Assassin's Creed
Black Flag.
It's an Ubisoft game, but it was specifically the team that made Black Flag, which is considered one of the better games, the pirate one, and it was all about naval combat and pirate ships. And there was a tease at the very end. It's like, it's gonna be a pirate game, it's gonna be fun. And then there was like a kraken under the ship, and we're like, it's gonna be awesome. That was the only time we ever heard from it. And I'm pretty sure that game went under. I've done no research. I'm pretty sure that game is dead forever.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah,
look it up.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sea of Thieves, right? Is that the game we're talking about?
No, but Sea of Thieves.
It's called Skull and Crossbones. I feel like you're just not listening.
That year.
I feel like you just don't listen.
I think Sea of Thieves was announced that year.
It was. There's two games. It was
two pirate games, and we're like, oh shit, what are the odds? It's two pirate games. One of them looks dope, and the other one looks cartoony. And the one that looked cartoony came out, and it was bad for a long time, but now it's good.
There's an 11 gig update
for
Sea of Thieves.
Oh, I just uninstalled it, so you guys can't ask me to play it.
23 minutes of Skull and Bones gameplay in 4K. E3 2018.
2018. Okay.
2018. All right. Okay. Oh, holy crap!
Wait, is there news on it?
Nah, it can't. It's old. It's got to be old.
But I mean, 2018 to have gameplay. We never saw gameplay. We only saw.
Skull and Bones is an upcoming action video game developed by Ubisoft Singapore and published by Ubisoft for release on Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One sometime after March 2021. So
apparently they're still working on it. But this is old information because this is before the consoles were announced. They're still saying Xbox, whatever. But maybe we would have gotten that this year. Maybe we would have gotten the new Batman that WB Montreal has been, or WB has been teasing forever.
It was announced in early 2019 that Ubisoft was partnering with Atlas Entertainment to adapt Skull and Bones into a television show.
Okay. I hate this.
But that's on Wikipedia. What happened to Skull and Bones will come out sometime March 31st, 2020.
Chris, didn't you have a video game question? Or like video game topic?
No.
Oh.
Did I? I don't think so.
Oh, no, you were just talking about I don't know if this was on the podcast or before, but the Friday the 13th game.
Oh, you just said Friday the 13th game because I was looking through
a good next step in your video game journey.
Yeah, I was looking for a new game to play, and so I was looking at that one, and I liked the movie, so I think I might just download it and just start slashing bitches.
So the only bad thing about that game is you need to play multiplayer.
All right, I got
a story. It's only multiplayer.
It's only multiplayer, and honestly,
you need a working headset.
You need a working headset.
Multiplayer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like Overwatch.
But like you need to be in the game audio, not the chat audio.
Okay.
And you need a working headset to talk to people. Yeah,
my headset is ruined.
Because the cool thing about that is you will only be able to talk to someone if you're near them.
Close.
And Jason will be able to hear you if you're talking if he's close.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Did you ever play GRAW, Ghost Recon? Not actually, whatever the A was, Warrior. It was like they did that. It was like proximity chat. And but like the enemy team could hear you. So if you like killed somebody, you just hear them screaming before their mic cut out. It was very fun.
Nice.
I'm bummed about this Skull and Bones thing now.
I know.
Kind of put me on a bad spot.
I don't think I had anything else to talk about. My hair's getting super fucking long because I can't cut it.
You got a good hair day, man.
Thanks. I got a new camera.
Nice.
Are you on it right now?
Yeah.
It looks good, bro.
I got light. It should look exactly like yours. I got lights coming in tomorrow. So next week, my setup is going to be way different. I'm probably going to be facing that way.
Cool.
I've been doing a lot of reading, but not like adult books. Like I'm getting graphic novels and
that's cool.
All that stuff.
If I can make a recommendation, you should read Bone.
Bone?
Bone. It's a graphic novel.
Okay.
It's one of the best graphic novels I've ever read. Read.
Dude, did you just drop your ghost authorship? It's like, I didn't write it.
It's really good. Scott Pilgrim's a really good one.
I almost bought Scott Pilgrim today, but I was looking through I was organizing shit the other day, and I have like 64 issues of Naruto, and I was like, I read up to that point, and if I recall, that whatever point I stopped was pretty close to the end of the show, and I looked up and it went up to 72, so I just bought the other 8. So I'm gonna have like the full series complete, and then I bought some art books and some comics, and yeah. So I've been getting some reading.
Awesome. C-Rod, you got anything? Any last words for the day?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna talk to all the band directors in the chat, because I know we got a lot in the chat. Whatever this next school year is going to look like is going to be different for a lot of different reasons. And I think from stuff I've been reading on social media and talking to people and texting people and whatnot, we would do ourselves a disservice by trying to manipulate and bend whatever it's going to look like in August to look like what it looked like last August. I think we have to do what we can to be visionary, and whatever changes that there are, implement those as opposed to trying to make the old ways look like the new ways. Meaning, use virtual education to the best of its platform as opposed to trying to make virtual education feel like in-person education. And on the same lines of that, given everything that's going on in the world right now with Black Lives Matter movements and protests, I think we all need to do better about increasing our child's view of people of color, especially in our field. I think it has to go beyond playing music by Duke Ellington, and it has to go beyond playing music by Black composers. I think our kids need to see Black musicians playing their instruments. I think our kids need to see musicians of color on the podium, conducting, directing, playing violin, playing flute, playing tuba, all these different things. And I think if we do that in this upcoming school year, either virtually or in person, I think we will do our part to make the world a better place.
That was powerful.
That's how I feel.
All right.
That was powerful.
I can't top that. We shouldn't top that.
I got nothing else to add to that. That was perfect. On that note, thank you guys for being here. Follow us on social media. Tune in next week for our we gotta end the season at some point.
Hey Ryan, since you know so much about TV, how do seasons normally end? Around what number episode? 22 maybe, 24?
I mean, 16, Breaking Bad had 13, so you can fuck right off. If you want to do that.
That was an awful point you just tried to make.
You're getting it, man.
But I think from the beginning I've opposed the season format because that implies like an end. We should have just numbered it from the beginning. We should just drop the season and just number it, just keep going, and it just goes till we hit 600, and that's the cutoff point.
All right. So we are going to be 1/60th of the way through our first season next week.
Yeah.
Perfect. At some point this week, I'm also going to beat Kingdom Hearts, so tune in.
I heard
Twitch.tv, R0SS09. We playing Kingdom Hearts eventually.
Let's go.
I don't know.
Well, I'll probably stream in Skate tomorrow. So
tune in. Guys, we got 4 votes. Mighty Ducks 2, 100%.
On that note, we're out.
Be safe, guys. Be good. Thank you so much.
Love you.